Hi, so it's Penny here, and today I'm going to be doing the Bookternet ALL STARS Charity Challenge. This challenge was put together by Rachael Marie, and the idea is for the bookish community to help support some of those charities that are doing some really great work in regards to the pandemic. Rachael Marie has created a list of 18 book series and authors that are really popular on Bookternet, and the challenge is to see how many of these you've actually read. And then for every person that completes this challenge, Rachael Marie is going to donate €1 up to a cap of €75 towards a charity of the winner's choice. And as well, if you're in a position to donate money yourself, you can do that as well. So I will leave a link down below to all the challenge details and where you can donate if that's something you want to do. I will also note you don't have to make a video to do the challenge. You can do it on Twitter or Instagram, whatever you've got. But I'm going to make a video because that's what I do. So let's get into the actual challenge. So firstly, we have Angie Thomas, who is the author of The Hate U Give and On the Come Up. So I haven't read either of these. I think primarily I'm avoiding it because it's a YA contemporary and I don't tend to like contemporaries, especially YA, just because I'm an old lady, so I'm not the target market in any way. But I do think The Hate U Give is about a really important topic, and I kind of am avoiding putting myself in the position where I don't like a book that I think is about a really important topic. So it's about police racism and just building more awareness of that, which I think is really great. So I don't know, I might read it at some point, but I'm just afraid I'm not going to like it. Next, we have the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. So this series had an original trilogy and then there was another trilogy. I read the first trilogy and then the first book of the second trilogy, and then I was out. I really liked the first half of the first book. I thought it was really beautiful writing. We're following this girl named Juliet in this mental asylum. She's locked away and she's really struggling with her thinking. And the way that that was presented was beautiful. But then she escapes there and it becomes more of an X-Men romance. And a lot of what happened didn't really make any sense. And I just think the series is not for me. Then we have Leigh Bardugo. So I have only read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo and I did enjoy it, although I thought the middle was a bit slow and boring, but the general ideas were really good and what happened at the end has made me excited to continue the series. So I like that one. I also have the original Grisha trilogy and then Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdoms on my 20 books I want to read in 2020 list. So I have read Leigh Bardugo and I plan to read more this year. Then we have the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. Now, I really have no interest in reading this, which is funny because I have actually read other books by Holly Black that I really loved. So this White Cat series is amazing and I really love it. But everything people say about the Cruel Prince series makes me think I'm not going to like it. Partly because people say it's a hate to love romance. I'm not really interested in romance-focused stories. Other people say, no, it's also got a big political aspect. And honestly, that doesn't excite me either. So even though I have really loved some Holly Black stuff before, I'm just not that interested in the Cruel Prince. So I think it's unlikely that I'm going to read it. Next, we have The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. So I recently read The Bone Witch just a week or two ago, and I was really hoping I would like it because it's about this necromancer witch, and that sounds like something that I would like, but no. I just found it quite boring, to be honest, and I don't know why that is. I'm really hoping that people will tell me a reason why I should continue the series, because at the moment I'm just not that excited about doing it. But I have read it. Next we have Victoria Schwab. So I have 2 shelves on my bookshelf that are all Victoria Schwab books. Vicious is one of my favorites. And I have also read most of her other books, all of her other books. I've read most of Victoria Schwab and I like it a lot. I think she comes up with some really great concepts. I do think sometimes she struggles with writing character development and relationships, but Overall, I think she's a really great writer, and I am really excited for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue coming out soon. Then next we have The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. So I have the first 2 books of The Lunar Chronicles. I hopefully will get the rest of the series at some point. This is a science fiction retelling. Each book in the quartet retells a different fairy tale. The first one, Cinderella, is like a cyborg. I love it. It's amazing. I read the whole series. Next we have Adam Silvera. So I read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera because that is his only book that is more science fiction or fantasy. That's not true. He recently released a fantasy book, but I haven't seen that many people talking about it, so I haven't been motivated to read it yet. His other books that are YA contemporaries, as I said, YA contemporary, just not something that tends to appeal to me, so I think it's unlikely that I'll pick up any of his other books. Pretty unlikely. But I have read one, so I still get to tick that one off. Next we have Cassandra Clare, who is most popular for her Shadowhunters books. I used to have a couple of those Shadowhunter books floating around, and I think I gave them to my sister. So maybe if she reads them and says they're wonderful, I might read them, but I think it's pretty unlikely because I do know those books are very romance focused. Romance is just not my thing, so it's unlikely that I would like them. However, I have read something by Cassandra Clare. So I've read the first book in the Magisterium series, which Holly Black wrote with Cassandra Clare, and this is a book I'm actually interested in continuing. It's like a middle grade series, a little bit like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, but I thought it had some unique takes and it was still quite interesting, so I think at some point I will get around to finishing this series. I have way too many middle grade series on the go, actually, I've just remembered. Next we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this one I have also read. I listened to the audiobook, which is what I tend to do when I'm not sure if I'm going to like something, because obviously this is a contemporary that's romance focused. I'm not even sure now what it was that convinced me to read it, because it doesn't sound like something I would like, does it? But I actually thought it was okay. It's like this Hollywood starlet telling her story. It was well written. Almost made me cry at one point when I was walking down the street listening to my audiobook. Always great to cry in public while you're reading. But yeah, I read this one. I thought it was okay. Then we have Laini Taylor, and I have read Strange the Dreamer and the sequel Muse of Nightmares. I haven't read her other series, Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I'm not sure what the actual name of the series is. That's another one which I really love this, so I would like to read some more of Laini Taylor, but I'm not sure whether her other series will be too romance heavy. This even got a bit borderline for me with the romance in here, so I'm not sure, but I think I will get to it at some point. I actually used to own Daughter of Smoke and Bone, but I got rid of it. Oops. That was a long time ago. Next we have The Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So this, since I have it, I have read it. I've read the whole series. And I recently re-listened to this first book on audiobook, and I thought that was a really good experience as well. I think just the unique format of these makes them a lot of fun. And the later books had some like twisty time elements in it as well, which is something I always enjoy. So yes, I've read this series. Next we have the Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. So this is another one that's on my 20 books to read in 2020 list. I haven't gotten to it yet, but hopefully I will get to it soon. It does seem like something I'm going to like. Then we have Sarah J. Maas. I have actually read quite a bit of Sarah J. Maas. So I read the first 2 books in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Didn't really like them. I did like Throne of Glass, and I think the next couple of books in that series. Then I thought the books just got a bit overdone, way too thick. I think some of these popular authors, just because of their popularity, the editors don't rein them in quite as much as they should. But I know a lot of people really love those big thick books, so who am I to comment on it? But I just didn't really like the last books in that series, and so I'm kind of avoiding A House of Earth and Blood because I think it's going to be too romance heavy for me and just not my thing. But it's really hard. That's definitely one where I'm getting FOMO, even though I'm pretty sure it's not something I would like. Seeing everybody else like it makes me question my life decisions. Then we have An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This is a strange one because I haven't really thought about reading this series, and I don't know why. I think just every time I see people talk about it, they never say anything that really reels me in or makes me interested. It's definitely a series that I could read at some point in the future if I got through all the other books on my list, which is a lot of books. I don't know, it's not a priority, but it is one that I might read. Then we have Seanan McGuire. So I have read quite a bit by Seanan McGuire. I read Middle Game and I really loved it, and I'm hoping that she will put out some more in that world soon. Wayward Children, I'm a little bit iffy on. I've read the whole series and some of them I've really loved, but other ones I have been quite disappointed in. I did also really like Into the Drowning Deep, which she wrote under the pen name Mira Grant. So I don't know, a lot of stuff by Seanan McGuire I have really loved, but I kind of feel like sometimes I think she rushes things a little bit, and like she has really great ideas, but the execution for me sometimes feels a little bit lacking. Then we have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. So this is one where, again, the first half of that first book I really loved. We have this main character called Rin who's working really hard to get herself out of a difficult situation and get herself to this school where then she learns this god-based magic. It's an amazing setup. I loved the character of Rin in the beginning of that book because she was just so focused and determined and knew what she wanted, and then the second half of the book she kind of lost her way, made some questionable decisions that I felt didn't really align with her original character. And then the second book, she just never made any decisions. She just reacted all the time. She was a very passive character. The main story wasn't even about her, and I just found it very frustrating. So I know a lot of people love that series, but I'm really not sure if I'm going to read the third book or not. Then lastly, we have To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. It's a YA romance, so I haven't read it, and I definitely don't think it would be for me. But of course, when I say something's not for me, if other people like it, that's fine. We all have different tastes, and that's the way the world is supposed to be. And as I said, I am way past the YA demographic, and while there are still YA books that I enjoy, and I think I'm getting better at identifying which YA books are still going to be relevant to me, there's certainly still plenty that are not. But I mean, it's also true there's plenty of adult books that I know are not relevant to me as well. We all have different lives, so we all have different story needs, right? So that's the challenge. I think if my notes are correct, which I will check when I'm editing this video, I think I've read about 61% of those books or authors. So that's, I think, pretty good considering that I'm not the demographic for a lot of these books. And actually a lot of the ones that I have read, I have really enjoyed. So maybe Bookternet is a good place for finding new books to read. So I would like to thank Rachael Marie for putting this challenge together. Obviously, if you would like to do the challenge, please go ahead. And don't forget to use the hashtag so that everyone can find it. As I said at the beginning of the video, you'll find all the links down below. Feel free to convince me that I'm wrong for any of the books that I didn't like, or like convince me to continue The Bone Witch. I really need to be convinced. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're staying as safe as you can and as happy as you can, and I will see you next time.